Visibility graphic overrides allow you to customize the appearance of the categories that appear in specific views. You can customize the line style, the color, or even the fill pattern that is used to display a category. Visibility graphic overrides are very useful for hiding categories that you don't want to display in a view. You can also use them to highlight categories to call attention to a specific category, or to diminish categories or patterns that might be distracting from what you're trying to communicate in that view. To hide categories that you'd like not to display in a view, start by opening the view that you'd like to customize. You can open the Visibility Graphics tool. It appears in the View tab in the Graphics section, Visibility Graphics. You can also use the VG shortcut, which is a very handy way of bringing up that dialog very quickly. You'll find that you use it often. In the Visibility Graphics Overrides dialog, you can turn off the categories to hide in this specific view. And you can choose from model categories, things like walls, doors, roofs, or the annotation categories, things like dimensions, tags. So choose the categories that you'd like to hide in the view and turn off the checkbox. As a shortcut, you can also, in the Plan view, just right-click on any element, and then from the contextual menu, choose Hide in View, and choose Category as the choice of things to hide. You can also use Visibility Graphic Overrides to highlight categories and call attention to them. Again, you'd start by opening the view that you'd like to customize and open the Visibility Graphics tool. It's under the View tab in the Graphics section, Visibility Graphics, and again, the VG shortcut is very handy. Turn on the categories that you'd like to call attention to in this view. Again, you can choose from any of the model categories or the annotation categories. And after you've selected the category that you'd like to change, you can override the display settings for that category. For example, changing the line color or width, maybe the pattern or the transparency of that object. And in this example, we've chosen plumbing fixtures and we've chosen a heavier weight, upping that to the level 7, and also chosen the color blue to really call attention to the plumbing fixture objects in this view, which might be useful for just displaying the plumbing elements. So you can see the upper view is showing the default appearance for the view. The lower image is showing this new enhanced view that uses the Visibility Graphics overrides to call attention to the plumbing fixture elements. Another variation on the theme is you can halftone specific categories or hide patterns if you'd like to diminish them and not call quite so much attention to them. Again, you'll use a very similar workflow, starting by opening the view that you'd like to customize. Then you can open the Visibility Graphics tool. Again, it's under the View tab in the Graphics section, Visibility Graphics. In the Visibility Graphics Override dialog, you can choose the specific categories that you'd like to halftone, then to turn on the halftone checkbox for the categories that you'd like to diminish in this view. You might also want to hide a distracting pattern by overriding and turning off the visibility of a specific pattern. So in the illustration over on the right side of the screen, you'll see that we've actually hidden the pattern that appears for the floor. That pattern might be just a little bit distracting. It's not necessary for the view. So on the floor category, we can decide that we're going to override the pattern. The dialog that appears lets you change the fill pattern graphics, and you'll see in the lower image that we've turned off the visibility of the fill pattern, and that makes the pattern disappear only from this view.